pre-fight smoochies, intoxicated interviews,
Started in
I was 12.
Yeah.
Watching Comfy Theater and then
and creepy female reporters.
I've done things to a George.
These are the top 10 most awkward MMA moments. Number 10, a female reporter gets mad creepy with GSP.
George, I just bought one of your dolls.
This reporter went into creepy territory when she pulled a GSP action figure, which she calls a doll, and straight up asked this to GSP.
What's the most offensive thing you've ever heard of a woman doing to one of your dolls? Because I've got a few.
But it got even weirder from there. Note the creepy-ass tone when she adds this while handling the action figure to GSP.
Beautiful. I've done things to a George.
I'm not sure if GSP was being very naive, or more likely it was that the creepy lady wasn't anything close to a 10 in the beauty scale, and he ignores her clearly sexually charged comments pretty gracefully and decides to just check out the action figure instead. In fact, he turns it into a pretty cool moment when he talks about his childhood love of action figures and how surreal it is to see himself turned into one. But creepy lady doesn't waste another chance to being creepy when GSP hands her the action figure back.
All right, well, you can't keep it. I'm going to need that back.
Hey, but sometimes it's the fighters being the creepy ones towards reporters, like the next one here. Number 9, Czech Congo and Rampage Jackson get creepy with Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani has a tendency to get under people's skins.
I wasn't going to do this interview, but they told me I had to.
Something against me? Do you not like me, Nick?
I feel like you instigate fights quite a bit. I mean, maybe that's your job, but where I come from, people like that get slapped.
So he's not the liking of many fighters, and sometimes they even end up getting physical with them. But Rampage Jackson and Czech Congo took things to a whole other level when they got all up into his business.
You know what? It's not personal, but I hate that people say bad thing on me. Oh. Come here. Give me a hug. Oh, like that? Yeah? Huh?
I mean, I don't even know what to say here. It looks to me that Ariel is being sexually harassed by Congo and being choked by Rampage at the same time. And to top it off, it seems like Ariel is kind of enjoying it. I don't know, but this was a really awkward moment. But not anything like our next segment. Number 8, Diego Sanchez Drunk Award Acceptance. Diego Sanchez won the 2009 MMA Award for Fight of the Year for the war he had against Clay Guida. He was really feeling himself when he walked up to the stage, but that confidence might have come from the bottom of an alcohol bottle. As soon as he took the microphone to give his speech, everyone could tell something was wrong. His speech started off with a tribute to God, though I doubt he appreciated the way Diego saw it.
I wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for God, so I give all the glory to God first and foremost.
After a drunken salute to his family, Diego started to lose track of his thoughts.
This year, I'm gonna be coming more words, more years, more words.
The nightmares, intoxicated escapades continued in the post-ceremony interview as well, when he gave a rather creative response to a question.
Sanchez, it's good to see you in silver. Everybody is mostly in black tonight. What made you pick this outfit?
Totally sporadicness.
Totally sporadicness indeed, Diego. Eek. Now, if you think that was bad, wait till you get a load of the next one. Number 7, Chuck Liddell's drunk interview. The Iceman might have slipped a little something into his drink before he went live into the Good Morning Texas show, or probably showed up straight from the party because he could barely talk straight. The interviewer tried his best to get some coherent answers out of him, but Chuck was slurring so hard that he sounded like Vito Corleone after a root canal.
Started in
I was 12.
Yeah.
Watching Comfy Theater and then Devils in between the a little different, and it was a little louder, a little distracting.
This made the interviewer kind of concerned.
You okay, Chuck?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. You all right?
All right. Doing all right.
Okay.
Chuck was there to promote the movie 300, and I guess you could say he tried his best.
Last night I saw it on IMAX. It was amazing. I've
Well, it's wild stuff.
never watched IMAX, so
Right.
it was really exciting on IMAX.
But hey, at least he didn't go through something like our next subject did. Number 6, Travis Wolford's unfortunate accident. Combine a diet high in proteins and fat with the intense physical exertion of the octagon, and you've got a recipe for some gross mishaps. In the case of Travis Wolford, he made the mistake of going to a chili eating festival before heading to his fight. When his opponent had him in a chokehold, Wolford flipped around while tapping out, and you can notice that wet brown spot on his shorts. It was at that moment that he realized he'd messed up. But it was already too late. The poor guy seemed super unsteady when he stood up, and he looked down to see literal dookie falling out of his shorts. By then, most people in the crowd had realized what just happened.
Oh my God, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up.
Something like this happening in a cage match is equal parts hilarious and horrifying. Maybe hold off on the chili next time, Travis. I guess his opponent deserves some credit for not calling him out. Fighters gotta look out for each other, you know? Although some might take it too far, like the next one here. Number 5, Yoshihiro's knockout kiss. Can bros kiss other bros on the mouth? Yoshihiro dared to find an answer to this question, even though it might have been better left unasked. That seems like a reasonable response from Heath Herron, and I gotta ask, what in the name of Jesus Christ was Yoshihiro thinking? Like, come on, man. You were basically asking to get knocked out. He was left on the mat reeling from the left hook, and he woke up looking like he couldn't remember his own name. This is a pretty odd interaction, because fighters are usually at each other's throats, but you can't expect them to breathe fire 24/7. I mean, check out this next one. Number 4, Rose Namajuna's deadpan crowd cam reaction. It's tough to know what to do when the camera suddenly finds you, but most fighters try their best to give a good show. Valentina Shevchenko and Holly Holm did a good job at performing for the camera, but Rose just stared right at the audience with zero expression on her face. Like, I'm having trouble looking away. It's mesmerizing, and that's not a compliment. By the way, besides myself, who else misses long hair Rose? She would have looked good even in this situation. Anyways, maybe she was in a bad mood that day, and Lord knows, fighters can be terrible in situations like that. Case in point, check the following. Number 3, Michael Johnson calling Justin Gaethje an inbred. It was a media day for UFC 213, and Michael Johnson found himself walking next to Justin Gaethje in the hotel lobby. Things got heated pretty quickly.
Your mom have with her brother to have you, or was it your cousin or something? Because you're the most inbred piece of I've ever seen in my life. So who?
Not the most creative of insults, I'd say, but it clearly rubbed Justin the wrong way. The threats started coming in, but Michael was completely unbothered by them.
Like, who in the family had sex with each other to have you? When you break me, we'll see if your mom has sex with her brother.
Yep, the guy didn't care one bit about Justin's threats, and he kept up the inbreeding tirade all the way up to the elevator. All Justin could do was stand there, pretend like it didn't bother him. But in his defense, he could have gone a much more violent route, like the incident in our next spot. Number 2, Tito Ortiz and Stephan Bonner's fight announcement. Before we start with this one, let's take a moment to salute the dear departed Stephan. Rest in peace, wherever you are, legend. Moving on, things started to get pretty awkward right off the bat on this one, when Bonner asks the microphone and Smith doesn't allow it and just holds it for him.
Can I borrow this for a second? I'll give it right back. I promise. I promise. I promise.
Then he goes on to say that Tito's old managers and supporters are supposedly turning against him.
It amazes me how many of his old friends, coaches, training partners, managers have come out of the woodwork to help me because they want to see him get his ass kicked.
Oh, and that mask guy standing next to Bonner, he's not just a prop. Nope, he's a big part of the American Psycho's master plan.
This guy helped them win many world championships. You might recognize him from being in his corner for all those fights.
And then came the big reveal.
And all he had to give him in return for thanks was nothing.
Yep, the crowd went wild. Except, like, no, not really. I mean, who the hell is this guy anyways? Either way, Tito gets seriously pissed off when Boner started talking about his ex. And surprise, surprise, Tito grabbed the microphone, said a few words, and launched himself at Boner. They both had to be held back before they did some serious damage. And I have to wonder why Stefan went below the belt on that one. Hey, but at least they didn't get confused with someone else like our next guy here. Number 1, a reporter mistakes Albert Tumanoff for Robbie Lawler. As insane as it sounds, some bored dude asked a question for Robbie, but he legit didn't realize it was Tumanoff sitting up there.
A few questions for Robbie, please. Robbie, congrats. I wanted to ask you, there's a really cool moment there at the at the end of the fight where you guys kind of collapsed at the same time on.
From the guy's shaking, nervous voice, I'm assuming it's his first time, but even so, things started to get real awkward real fast. Albert just sat there looking confused. All he could do was gesture at his translator for some help. The reporter gets super flustered once he realized that it wasn't Robbie. Like, the guy sounds like he's about to cry here.
I'm sorry. So sorry. My bad.
The next few seconds are painfully awkward, with everyone confused about what the guy's trying to do here.
What? What happened?
I'll wait.
He doesn't have... Are you a translator, sir?
Yeah, you...
I'll wait for Rob. My bad.
Eventually, Albert asks the guy why the question is directed at him when he's saying Robbie's name. And that's when Dana steps in.
Oh, you thought that was Robbie Lawler?
With the beanie, it threw me off. My bad.
You cover this sport? You thought that was Robbie Lawler?
I mean, I kind of see the resemblance with Robbie as well, so let's give this reporter a break. And good thing Uncle Dana was there to turn it into a joke. Everyone laughs, the guy apologizes, and the awkwardness is gone, courtesy of Dana's graceful handling of the situation. Which one of these moments entertained you the most? Leave a comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on so you won't miss future videos like this one. But that's all for today. See you next time. Till then, remember to protect yourself at all times.